Abdullah Al-Mubarak.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Abdullah Al-Mubarak. And to be honest, I really didn't prepare well for this speech. And there's a reason behind that. Let me explain. As I was trying to brainstorm ideas for this speech today, I was really thinking of coming up with something innovative, something good, but I really just didn't feel motivated to come here today and talk about it. And as I was saying that in my head, I thought, well, hey, I should probably talk about why I like motivation, and it's why I'm here today. I've always been unmotivated for some reasons, and I really don't know. Maybe it's something that's inherent, maybe it's something that's genetic. I really don't know. But let me give you an example of how lazy I am and how apathy really is probably ruining my life. For example, I gave out my icebreaker in March of 2017, and it only took me a year to come back here today, stand in front of you guys, and give out my second speech. At this rate, I'll probably finish the Toastmasters manual in probably like 7 or 8 years. So let's hope that doesn't happen. And I'm here to talk to you about how I've been really focusing on finding a method or something that would truly lead me to become motivated in my life in general. I've always noticed that I'm unmotivated. I'll give you an example. I went to the entrepreneur program here at KFPM, and after the second week, I dropped out. And as soon as I left, I felt, I'm unmotivated. Maybe it's a problem with me. But now that I thought about it, maybe this just wasn't something that I liked. Maybe it's that simple. And I started, trying to find a certain path to use. So I started Googling like motivational speeches, and I started listening to it. And while I was listening to all of these speeches, I could only discern one apparent fact, and it was that they're lying. It's total BS. You can clearly see that it's definitely a cleverly constructed ruse, but it's fake. It's deceptive. Everybody could see that it's just a normal. It's a normal series of events that led him to be successful. It's luck. It's living in a good environment. So I just ditched that, and I thought that's definitely not the way to go. Another thing that I've always noticed is that for some reason I've always had bad luck and being chosen by random to be a leader in course groups, right? You're randomly assigned with a group depending on your serial number. And I've always was chosen to be the leader. I always hated it. I always felt like it was a burden, unlucky, all of that. And I remember in one course, as I was talking the group members into doing something, they were really demotivated. And I felt, they were really unmotivated. And I felt, well, that's exactly me. I'm just on the other side of the table now. I'm the leader. So that was the first point that made me realize that I hate them, but I'm exactly who they are. I'm just a leader by coincidence. So that was the first point that kind of gave me, it was an epiphany moment. I thought I really need to change. I really need to change who I am. So after that, I had an experience last semester. I was luckily chosen to go on an exchange program to the US at Georgia Tech. And one of the things that I noticed there was the fact that all of the students I was working with, they always had a lot of extracurricular activities going on in their lives. And I would ask them, how are you doing all of that? How are you managing good? They had pretty decent grades. They're at least a manager of one club or two. They had probably a girlfriend. They were going to parties on the weekends. They were doing everything. They were living the life. And I was thinking, the only thing I do here is just hang out, waste time. And he said, well, it's simple. One of them, I asked him, how do you do it? And he said, it's simple. I just love what I do. And I thought, well, I probably need to do something like that. And it was the second point that led me to realize that I just need to change my mentality. And a part of me being here today is actually to tell you that I'm trying new stuff. I'm trying to see if maybe this is the thing that could get me motivated into starting a new extracurricular activity that would truly help me in my future. Now, before I let you guys go, I just want to talk about two short points. The first point is that I remember the only ever motivational words that I've ever heard and truly like clicked and made a lot of sense was that Elon Musk once was asked by a young entrepreneur. He was asked, "Oh, can you please give us a word of advice, a word of motivation before we leave?" And he simply said the most genuine response that I've ever heard. He simply said, "If you need motivation to do something, just don't do it." Because if it's not something that's stemming from, if it's not something that's originating internally, then it's probably, you don't need somebody to pull you to do something. And the second point that I'd like to say is that I really need to change my mentality and start exposing myself to new experiences. Because it's probably the thing that's gonna show you what you want to do in life. If you love it, go ahead and pursue that thing. If you don't, just simply leave it, move on to the next step. And before I conclude, I just want to say that I really hope this didn't transition into another go help yourself or another motivational speech, because I hate them and I really don't want to be one of those guys. So thank you very much. I'm Abdullah. Have a good one.